I'm Lori-Lydia Loveless, and I am your guest host on tonight's Out of the Fog. We have an incredible show for you this evening. First, we have Ricky Dalton with Ricky Dalton and Friends annual Janeway fundraiser, and of course we have James Cadigan with the RNC. It's going to be a great show, and we'll be right back after these messages. Welcome back. Today we have with us founder and chairperson Ricky Dalton of Ricky Dalton and Friends annual Janeway fundraiser.
Good.
Welcome, Ricky.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me here.
Well, we're glad to have you so we can talk about the upcoming event that you have. So how many years have you been doing this now?
I've been doing this for 7 years now. 7
years, wow. Yeah. And what came about? How did you start doing this?
Well, it came about 8 years ago. I remember every September or October, we was home and listening to a bit of music. My music is my life.
Yes.
Listening to music. And so I said, I was thinking back when I was in the Janeway for so long and what happened to me. And I said, you know what, I got an idea. I'm going to do a fundraiser or something that related to music in Janeway, put it together. So I contacted the first person, a good friend of mine, Chris Andrews, he's Cadigan, and I asked him, I need your help, and what is the first thing I could do to do this? And he helped me from the ground up, Chris had been so good to me. He'd been giving me advice and whatnot, and also listening to my side of the story and did some ideas, But I gotta say, if you're working for Chris, even though I started the whole thing, Chris had been on my side if I needed any help or advice or anything like that.
That's great. And you've been growing so much too. You have a full team with you now. So can you tell us a little bit about the members and what they do?
Well, actually, my first members are Kelly Crew. I have known her since we went to school together at Park, where I'm from, Cape Hall. In kindergarten, and she's been a great friend of mine. So when I got into my second year at the fundraiser, I went to her and I said, would you be part of my team? Because she had a lot of experience, she knows what she's doing, and that's what I need. Just because, and I said, she's more up doing posting things on Facebook, keeping up to date, everybody get the word out there, about my fundraiser and other stuff too, like what she does, and God love her, she's been a great help. Next handlers I have Lisa Hines, I met her at a pub, at an establishment, and I guess what happened there when I did a fundraiser there, and it happened to came across that she wanted to help out, and I'll help her to work on my board. To help me, and the more people, the merrier. To help me put a lot of stress off the shoulders. Next, I have Erica, which she happened just recently jump on the board a month ago, where she had a lot of experience, and where she's from up the shore as well. And it's just that I wanted to be more taken off my shoulder with responsibilities, because I know she can be more looking after the tickets on the doors or whatever. And lastly, Christina McCrory, I believe, she don't do mostly mainly doing pictures. Mm-hmm. And I love her. I've seen her everywhere. Plucked events, different festivals. So yeah, for me, my role would be the chairperson. I'm more focused on doing booking all the lineup music, because music has been my, I said that. However, I do help out wherever I can on the other side, but music is the lineup. And I gotta say, I'm very happy that I've started this.
That's great. And like I said, it's so nice to have that support that you have as well. And every year you seem to be doing better and better. So how much have you raised over the years since you started?
Well, I got to say, there's so many people out there have been supporting and getting the word out there, and Ricky can make me more. My family behind it, my friends, But, you know, it's not about no one's perfect at what they do before starting the fundraiser. And like, I'm not competitive. I'm more up to my own experience. To keep a whole week when I'm doing it, to help the Janeway and pay back to the Janeway. So, I just gotta say, it was, it keeps growing every year, every 7 years. And I can't believe it's 7 years, where did time go?
That's right. And like you said, so do you have a specific goal, or are you just hoping that everyone can just contribute as they go?
Well, what I was telling people, you know, Janeway have been helping a lot of kids out there today. Like I said, grandkids, nephews, nieces, or newest baby that coming into the world, or teenagers. And when I heard different stories, it surely, truly impacted me more what I went through when I was a baby. And I said, you know, we need contribution. The Janeway Foundation have been doing so much over the years. This year they'll be celebrating the 40th anniversary at the Janeway Telethon. And this year have been so special, and I just wanted to keep pushing it forward.
That's great. And so what can we expect for this year's event? I understand that there's a new location this year.
Yes, that is correct. I have a new location. I have been doing it at O'Reilly's pub for the last 6 years. So this year I had decided, they said, you know what, we'll make the same things up. I change over the time, they change over the event. There's nothing random changes. So we're having it here at Bradwick and George Street, if anybody wants to know, on April the 20th to 21st. We're located exactly, you want to make right across from Jungle Gyms and Joyce. And not that they are very pleased for me to have it there, you know, and not only for the magician. It's just I'm looking forward to this, to bringing the, you know, the different scenario. That's what I wanted to say.
And so I know that we can't say a whole lot about the acts, but can you comment on who might be attending this year?
Personally, yes, I can. Right now, I can name a few. Because what we're doing now, since I had made up with my committee team members a month ago, we decided what we're going to do and that. So we decided we would reveal a lineup because St. Patty's Day coming up next weekend, and we were going to do it the day after or 2 days after the reveal lineup. What we can expect in the lineup, which is pretty amazing. Before I get to the lineup, I want to say the magicians out there has been reaching out to me every year before I reached out to them. Ricky, we're here if we need the help. We're here, can we be part of it? It's just so overwhelming, and because music has been my passion, and I've been going to festivals and concerts over the years, it's like, wow, you know, this is what I love about it. So, I can say, this year, Lana, who we're expecting to see, well, and also too, with the tradition, I'm trying to mix up a bit of music too along the years. So, for example, in the like I have some musicians from Music NL nominees. Like for example, I have Randy Matthews. Last year, 2 or 3 years ago, before that, I had Jenny Myers. And also I had this year, I had Darcy Scott.
Nice.
So, you know, I'm not excluding them any magicians because I know how much they have worked hard for the laptop. She'll be one of among the artists we'll be playing, along with Madeline Carter, be joining him. We'll be having Black Gold, I got you know, from Darcy Barbuck, Larry Martin, Kevin Evans, and I think Madeline Carter, of course, too. We're going to have the Navigators. And at least I'm not going to say no more. I like to leave the party to last. You can check my social media. Also, we're going to have Child Beef Junkies. You know, they just released their CD, and they're amazing. So they're going to be one of the musicians. They'll be part of the lineup along with the top hat dancers.
That is excellent. So if other people want to get involved or learn more about it, where can they find out more about your event?
Well, they can. Well, if anybody have any questions to regards about the fundraiser, where, what time, and what they're doing, you can check on my Facebook page, Ricky Dalton and Friends and the Janeway fundraiser, and also. We don't post much on Twitter, but we do. We try one time to time, but mostly go into our Facebook. Very important. If you have any questions, you have any something you wanted to know about, just message us, even me privately if you wanted to.
That's great, and we wish you all the success in this year's event, and thank you so much for joining us today.
Oh, it was very pleasure to be here too.
Great. And we'll be right back after these messages.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
And welcome back. Now we have with us James Cadigan of the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. So James, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks so much for inviting me.
Oh, glad to have you here. And of course, we're going to be talking about some important topics here today. And of course, so James, you can tell us a little bit about the RNC. So you're the longest running police force in Canada and the world?
Yeah, so I think, I don't know if I want to speak for the world. I think that certainly in Canada, we are the longest running police service. Dating back to, the history brings us to 1871, 1729. So yeah, you're looking pretty far back there now, yeah.
That's great. And you have about 400 officers at the moment?
Yeah, that's right. So we have 400 sworn police officers, and we also have almost 200 civilian employees.
That's great. So how long have you been with the RNC, and what's your specific role?
Yeah, so I've been with the RNC for almost 15 years. My role right now is media relations and public communication. So essentially, the spokesperson for the RNC and any public communication that would be provided to our community would come from my office.
That's great. So can you tell us a little bit more about the RNC and what they do here in our province?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty expensive. It's we could be here for a while if we really hit everything, but at the end of the day, we're a police service that provides the highest standard of service to our community around public safety and safety and security of our properties, and we have a big relationship we like to focus on with municipalities across our province to promote the safety of our community.
That's great. So what areas specifically are you overseeing?
Yeah, so the RNC is currently in the Northeast Avalon region, which encompasses 13 communities, and also the Corner Brook region, which we just moved into the Humber Valley area to expand that region of jurisdiction, as well as Labrador West and Churchill Falls.
That's great. And so, of course, being a member of the RNC, sometimes there may be some, misconceptions or misinformation that comes along with it. So do you want to elaborate on what that is and how you handle that?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, we've certainly looked at that as part of our recruitment effort now. I mean, you look at what is a police officer, and the answer to that is it can be anybody. There's no persona or, required traits. It's basically somebody who wants to help their community, who wants to do the right things and support the safety and security of our communities. And so the misconceptions that you often hear might be the lack of emotion, cold, and they just arrest people all day. When the reality is, every police officer at the RNC is different and unique and has a different background, families, and from different parts of the world, really. So it's great to see that diversity in our police service today, and we certainly want to continue to build on that.
That's good. And of course, what would you say are some of the advantages of working with the RNC?
I mean, there's many advantages. You look at the gratification you get when you see positive outcomes. I spent 10 years responding to calls for service as a member of our patrol operations. And, it's often said that you meet people in their worst on their worst days a lot of times, and that's very much the truth. But you know, you really take that initiative and you want to support these people and provide them with opportunities to provide or search for positive outcomes. And it's when you see, as time passes, that positive outcomes are possible. And you know, that's where the gratification comes from, and it really makes you proud to be a police officer and supporting your community.
And of course, I have seen that you're doing a lot of recruitment events across the province. So can you tell us a little bit about that and what type of positions that you're recruiting for?
Yeah, so just to hit that right away, essentially, as a member of the RNC, when you complete your cadet training and come to us, which would be next fall, you would start with patrol services as a first responder. So in recent weeks, certainly after Christmas, we started doing information sessions across the province. We started with high schools, which was very interesting to hear the perspectives of youth across our province, you know, and to understand what questions are out there, you know, what do they need to know. And I think that what we learned about is that, you know, we really need to share the benefits in terms of what people are looking for in a career. You know, what is the pay? What types of health benefits are there? Pension, and these things that aren't often discussed openly when you're looking at recruitment, but these are the points that people really care about. And outside of that, it's how do you care for your employees, you know, and support your employees. And a big part of that at the RNC is the safety and wellness program, which encompasses every employee, civilian and police officer. And we do have a clinical psychologist on staff at the RNC now leading that program. And, you know, we're certainly very proud to see how far that has come in recent years.
That's really good to see. And like you said, so having that information to help with, you know, finding if that's what their career goals. I know for my little cousin, Jake, he always said he wanted to be a police officer from the get-go. And so, you know, having that ability to have those information sessions definitely works. So what types of qualifications do you need to be in order to get into your programs?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I would like to direct everybody to the website to find out, you know, what you need to have done prior to making an application. A couple of things I can hit on would be that by the time you complete your training and join the RNC, you must be 19 years old. To complete an application and be successful, you must have at least one term or semester of post-secondary education of any kind under your belt. And if you go to the website, you'd see the application package itself, which includes a questionnaire, a lot of personal information. And you know, if you have any questions about any of those processes, you can certainly reach out. There's contact information on the website under Join, where you can email, call, and you know, we'll get back to you and keep the lines open.
And of course, the application process is quite lengthy. I think it's like an 8 or 9 step process.
Yeah, certainly. So I mean, I think it's good to hear from the public perspective that the RNC has quite an extensive application process. You know, I know from looking at over the years how it's played out, you know, we've certainly come to obtain some very quality employees and people who really want the best for their community. And so it starts off, of course, with the application package. There's a physical requirement aspect, and there's interviews, including a polygraph exam, as well as a psychological and medical exam as part of the process. And you know, it does take a period of time to complete this process, and if you're successful, of course, you're in it from start to finish. So you know, if you have any questions along the way, we're very receptive to any of that.
So in the process, say now if you fail the part, how does that work for the application process? Can you continue on? Is there a wait period?
Essentially, if you are not successful at any stage, you're notified, and we would provide feedback as to how you can better your efforts if you wish to apply in the future.
And so what's the cost? I know, like, you know, with post-secondary and that sort of thing, it's always, you know, the element of cost. So how much would someone be looking at?
Yeah, certainly. It's a great question. And so I'll start off by talking about the training itself. So if you are successful through the application process, you would become a part of the cadet class of 2025. And in January of 2025, you would be sent to the Atlanta Police Academy in Prince Edward Island, where you would complete 36 weeks of police officer standard training. So that tuition is, I believe it's in the area of $28,000, and that would be essentially had to be paid to complete that training. And one thing that often comes about when we talk about the cost that makes the RNC unique is that once you complete this training and you come to the on-the-job portion, by the fall of 2025, you would be earning a salary with the RNC. And the starting salary right now for a new member is $62,000 a year. So it's basically an incremental raise every 5 years for the first 5 years. And as a first-class constable, which would be your five-year stage, you would be at $102,000 a year.
Wow, that's great. And of course, like you know, with the economy, everyone's asking the salaries and the benefits. I know we kind of touched on that. So what type of other benefits can applicants expect?
Yeah, I mean, so with any career, you're looking at how you can support yourself, your family, and your future. And so the valuable part of this career is that you would have health benefits, dental, and certainly a pension that can support, your future after this career. And to me, certainly when I was looking for a career, that was a big part of my search. How can I ensure that if I want to have a family, how do I support them? If I want to support my life after my time as a police officer, how will that go? And to know that there's a pension plan in place, there's strong health benefits, and there's a workplace that's going to support my health and wellness as well.
So if an applicant doesn't have all of the qualifications, can they still apply, or is there something that you can help direct them in the right direction that way?
Yeah, certainly, and that's a big part of it, is that open line of communication. So if you have questions or you have concerns about your qualifications, you can reach out to us. And as the application process plays out, again, we do give feedback and provide guidance for future applications.
And so what about opportunities for growth within the RNC? Does that also come into play?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I mean, that's at the RNC, essentially, there's such a broad spectrum of opportunities in terms of your career. You could be a forensic science, forensic identification services. There's also major crime and other property-related offense investigators. There's also video services, police dog services, and of course the mental health mobile crisis response team. I mean, there's an expansive opportunity for somebody who wants to progress their skills and knowledge of how they can support their community.
So if someone was interested in, learning more about the program or even attending one of your recruitment events, how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can reach us through our recruiting email. I believe it's rncrecruiting@rnc.gov.nl.ca, or through our phone line at 729-8029. So we would direct everybody to our website to learn more about the application process. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. We're certainly open, and we want to know if people have other questions that we can further educate our community on.
So James, I'm going to ask you, what's your favorite part about working with the RNC?
I mean, I think that changes every day. It's one of those places that you don't know what's going to happen day by day. And I think in my early years, it was about, seeing the look on people's faces when they saw that they were getting help. And today, I think it's the opportunity to inform the community and be that trusted source of information that's going to help people protect themselves, protect their families, and learn about what's happening in our community every day.
And of course, you're out there, like you said, with your work with public relations. So what's the importance of public relations within the RNC?
I mean, I think public communication is vital for any service, certainly public service, and being transparent and open is a big part of our strategy. And we want to hear feedback from our community. We certainly recognize that we're going to make mistakes, and just as any agency will, and we want to learn from those scenarios. But we also want to ensure that we are open and transparent in providing information and communicating with our community.
So what advice would you give to someone that's wanting to actively be within the RNC?
I would say be yourself, and don't feel like you need to present some other form of identity. Come forward, be yourself. We're looking for diverse backgrounds, unique individuals. Every police officer at the RNC is different. I'm an athletic type, and I've met many people who don't relate to me at all in the RNC. So you don't have to think that athletes are revert to policing. It's not the case. We've got a lot of artistic people. We've got a lot of people who are interested in gaming, and all, you know, there's such a broad background of people. And you know, our age range is now from, of course, 19 to people in their 60s. So you see a bit of every generation. You see a bit of every personality, and we want to expand on that every day and learn more about our community.
Well, James, thank you so much for coming into the studio today and talking about the recruitment process and the RNC.
Oh, thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Always a blast. So thank you so much, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Your opinion matters, and we want to hear from you. Get in touch with us using our viewer feedback line, your direct connection to shaping the shows you love. It's easy. Just grab your phone, scan the QR code on your screen, and take our quick survey. Share your thoughts, and let's make your viewing experience even better.
Thank you so much for watching tonight, and of course I want to say a special thank you to our guests, Ricky Dalton and of course James Cadigan with the RNC. So if you're looking for something to do on April 20th and the 21st, you can go down to Broderick's and of course support the local Janeway Foundation. And if you're interested in learning more about a career path with the RNC, check out their website or attend one of their recruitment events. Until next time, much love.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
We want to hear from you. Provide feedback on this show or find out how you can get involved. Call, email us, or scan the QR code to take our quick survey.
The verdict is in.
Please hold your applause.
Law & Order Toronto Criminal Intent is a hit.
It's already trending. The press is going to be